Back at it again in Michael's haunted house. Yippee! Northern Garden. Yeah, we're on Monday. 1 p.m. Yep. Oh, right, I was trying to dig a hole, but we can't dig yet. He says, I don't know where to dig. And now we're going... Oh, we have the church key now. Right, we couldn't dig yet, but we can now get into the chapel. With our fancy key, what does he have to say about it? The key was heavily adorned. The lock produced a loud noise that echoed in the quietness of the area. It made me wonder about the secrets that had been kept safe and undisturbed in here for years. I recognized that door sound effect. Not even inside the chapel did I perceive a peaceful environment. The deadly stillness was deeply unnerving. Thank you for helping test it out, Morrow. It is very still. Looks like we're inside of a dollhouse. Jesus. Oh, light switch that we cannot use. More Jesus. Lovely music. More Jesus. Wait, inspect anything over here? Trying to be as thorough as I can here. Okay, there's a staircase. Oh, that was quite the big step, Mikey. Anything in these little pews? Quite impressive. I mean, yeah, this is a tiny chapel, but I have like 6 pews, damn. Grave marker? What, for the child? But there's still the crypt mausoleum. The accoutrements inside the chapel, though mostly golden and shiny, looked sad and fragile. The chalice was lavish and pleasing to the eye, but sadly was of no use to me. You could drink out of it. Like an Undertaker's shed. Oh, no, this is like a legitimate miniature chapel, yeah. Okay, anointing bottles, goblets, bells. Wait, is there really... Oh. At this point, I wasn't going to bother with light switches anymore. Is there really nothing for us to grab in here? There must be at some point. Okay, yep. Each cameo here is him getting crucified, yeah. The series. I forget who the artist is, but I've seen it before. Most notably, this one. No blood, unfortunately. Oh, a secret hatch. There's some kind of small metal ring. Crowbar did the trick. Oh, let's look on the altar first. Anything spooky up there? This looks like a little frog. The candle looks like a tiny little frog on top. Actually, wait, I don't even know if that is a candle. True, even in the church, there are no candles. This might be like the butt end of a melted candle here, but... Yeah, not a single light source. Not a single candle, even in here. Ah. Interesting. Okay. Let me walk back here. Okay, so we can't actually do anything here yet. Weird. Hello. There was a large wooden statue of Christ looking after this holy place. Okay, I believe ads are now playing, so before we go up the stairs here and continue our exploration, I am going to take a quick break. I will see you dudes in a few minutes. Everyone get up, stretch, all that fun jazz. I'll see you folks soon. Go Biz Girl. Nary a single firefly's arse to light the way. No. Yeah, the lack of light sure makes sense in a haunted house, but not a single candle. Curious indeed. Oh, the music has stopped. I know, Cabal. Oh, that song hits so hard every time. This looks like a spoon. I always wondered what INRI means. Very specific of him to comment on that. Is this a puzzle clue? I will keep this in mind. I don't know if there's anything we can do with this concrete slab here yet, or this, like, ring. I can see something else attached to it here. It almost looks like this is supposed to move backwards, doesn't it? I don't know. Okay, let's go up there. Unless there's something else over here. Yes, so it's something Rex Israel. Okay. Perhaps that will... Damn. Oratora coming through. Oh. Jesus Nazarenus Rex Deorum, which translates Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. Okay. Well, now Michael knows. I wonder if that will be a clue for something. Considering he commented on it so specifically. See you later, Grand Illusion. Oh, it's dark up here. And candelabra, no candles. Oh, what's this? A little drawer? The Holy Bible. Okay. Yep. This looks like to be 1600s, 1700s. 1700s, probably early. Bible. Okay. Oh, hello. Are we going to be doing some crucifixion? Nothing to comment on. It's very common on cross. Yeah, it is quite common. Maybe he's just not religious. Nailed it. Okay. Now I have to click on this again. Okay, anything else in here? The cabinet on the small loft contained items that seemed to have belonged to a priest. Makes sense. For vampires, true. Maybe the spirit that's haunting this house is really just for vampires. Make sure I don't want to miss anything. I don't know what... Is this even full? Small, heavy nail, very cold to the touch. Does it take us all the way downstairs? It does, okay. Is there anything else over here? What do we do with this? Yeah, you can see like a pulley system here where that chain is. Interesting. Can we... No, can't interact with it from here at all, or that rug. Does it at least show that we can interact with this more? No, it doesn't. Weird. Okay. What about on the statue at all? There's a large wooden statue. Okay, I think I see a hole. Yep, we did indeed have to do some crucifixion. There's a nail inserted into the hole now. Okay. What did that change for us? We nailed his feet into the cross. Did that change anything with the slab? Or do we need to maybe attach something else to it? He has nothing else to say about this. How strange. Huh. For the Fae. No, it's for Jesus. What was the point in doing that? Did something else change in the chapel? Same in here. Something changed upstairs, maybe? Wait. Am I imagining things, or did I just see something change with the floor? That tile. Oh no, these tiles were already there. Never mind. Alright, I am going to look at the guide though, and where to go next. Okay. I thought, like, I was about to go back outside and see if we could dig again, but no, there's still... All I need to know is that there's more to do here. Something was curiously different about the sign. Oh, yeah, it's askew. Crowbar? Oh. Oh, I see. Yeah, watch out, man. A little bit of a parlor trick for divinity. We're going into here? That's it. Go in the hole. I thought I was gonna behead him. Yippee! Oh, man. At this point, I wasn't going to bother with any light switches. But bitch, we can't see! But there's no more oil in here. Dude, you're gonna have to do something. I'm not going to bother with any light switches. Let me save my game. I know you're not going to bother with any light switches, but I can't see. Nearly impossible to discern anything in the secret room, but that seemed to be a candle. The sole candle existing. Well, there's the one upstairs, but we finally have a single candle. What? Oh, the face. That's not the mask, that's a different mask. But it is in the bottom of the church. Interesting. Most of the books scattered on the hidden room were about occultism and African culture. Even their titles were disturbing. Oh, you know, those African titles, very disturbing. Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so the church was a cover for his ritual studies. Strange titles such as De Vermis Mysteris gave me the shivers. As much as I love those books, I didn't even dare to open those. You wiener. A piece of wood. A letter, a nice pipe, a mug. This is a cozy little secret room. The first candle! We did it! He actually lit a candle. I'm so happy for him. He is, yeah, he always complains about anything spooky. Yeah, I thought he was a fucking horror writer. My ass. They're just, it gave me the shivers. I read one single Latin word, and I fainted. March 26th. The folklore of the Dalmar is just as disturbing as their vicious attacks. Don't know why I decided to take a bite there. I'm hungry, sorry. The folklore of the Dalmar is just as disturbing as their vicious attacks. If my researches have been correct, then I could have stumbled upon the most ancient tribes ever known to humanity, dating back to the era where so-called Bushmen inhabited South Africa. This fucking guy, dude. We're talking over 20,000 years ago. How could any civilization manage to survive all this time without ever hunting or expanding? Just being there. I don't dare to imagine what 200 centuries of inbreeding and cannibalism can do to people. I've seen them, and they can't be called humans. What is most unsettling in their mystical background, impossible to be considered a religion due to a complete lack of basic rules and maturity. Okay, lack of basic rules, sure, if it's not organized and maybe it's not considered a religion, but maturity. The only simple premise is to keep an evil entity at bay, which has been stalking them since the beginning of time, or Dark Ages. At this point in my research, I had to stop and consider the implications. The Dalmar actually thought of their later period, the systematic slaughtering of mankind, as good times or golden ages. I thank the Lord that this tribe never managed to grow, as I seriously think the region, maybe even the entire continent, would have suffered terrible consequences. This history is so ancient that it makes me feel dizzy. The vengeful god, which is incidentally referred to as Dohom, would control the Dalmar via its many incantations. Most of the time, it would be a tall, feline-like figure, always dwelling in shadows and slaying any villager who would unwittingly come close. Some say its deadly claws would not only penetrate your body, but your soul. The purpose of the harassment is unclear. It look as if the Dalmar were simple toys to play with. It seems then that the Dalmar managed to free themselves from its clutches with the help of an amulet or charm, effectively forcing the entity to retreat. The most curious thing is how this amulet was conceived. Two main elements were required to perform the exorcising of this evil, and they had to be strictly related to each other, one representing the victim and the other representing the victimizer. To achieve this, something related to each one was used. While I'm not sure what is referred to as the victim, I think it can be concluded that anything belonging to any villager would have served, given that they were all victims. As for something representing the victimizer, that may have been more complicated. What could possibly be related to a god? This god in question. Next, these elements had to be mixed with a rare medicinal plant native to the region, which apparently had the properties of cynobetes. Hello. Welcome, everyone. We're playing Scratches. You're just in time, really. We just found the secret hidey hole at the bottom of the chapel. Welcome on in, dudes. Hi, I'm Luna. I play spooky shit. I focus a lot on indie horror games, but I like anything immersive, weird, and obscure. How was your stream? Let me give you a shout out. I'm also eating a granola bar if anyone would like to know. What were you doing today? Thank you very much, Solo Wolf. Ooh, crunchy. So, to catch you guys up to speed, if you don't know about this game, a horror writer named Michael got a sweet, sweet deal on this Victorian-esque mansion in the middle of, Rothsbury? I want to say. And surprise, it's haunted. Even though he had the knowledge going in that not only was there a murder, but a man going missing, he's slowly uncovering that and how this entire place is haunted by the actions of one of the previous owners who was very obsessed with African occultism and stole some stuff and did some stuff he wasn't supposed to do. And also there's the death of a child and a whole bunch of tragedy that made this place how it is. And we're uncovering that, and this is the final in-game day, apparently. It's kind of neat because he's a writer, it has like a narration system. Everything is kind of written in third person, which is pretty cool. And it's a pretty good game so far. The tension's very good. This letter is written by the first owner of this house. Kishma, thanks for the follow, dude. That cool you. James something, who was an architect and colonist, really. He was building bridges in South Africa, I believe, and became very obsessed with this mythical tribe that everyone was very afraid of and their cannibalistic rituals. And for a warning, anyone coming in, a lot of the notes written by him tend to be a little obtusely colonist. Like, it'll just talk about just not even mentioning what's included in their rituals, but how just barbaric they are in general for performing them, or things that very much barbarize these people before he could even talk about the nefariousness of the rituals. And apparently, and as this note is revealing, the nefariousness of their rituals was to protect them. So, Mr. Judgy Pants over here. Also, sup, Michael? But yes, haunted house game. It's quite good. All right. What could possibly be related to a god? This god in question. Next, these elements had to be mixed with a rare medicinal plant native to the region, which apparently had the properties to blend both items together, as long as they were not too solid. Finally, a branch of a particular tree whose name escapes me now had to be used as a holder of the blended items. Ah, that explains the greenhouse. Okay. It is on this item that a mysterious blessing was performed. It should be noted that all elements had to be organic. I better not catch you hopping over in your Toyota to the fucking world market to get a non-organic branch for this ritual. The Dalmar successfully released themselves from the control of the vicious god with an intense ritual that seems to have taken days to perform. In the end, the amulet was so powerful that the entity surrendered to their will and offered divine power in exchange for sacrifices. But the Dalmar wouldn't allow themselves to be fooled. They decided that getting rid of this evil once and for all would be the wisest thing to do, so they managed to capture its spirit and store it someplace they could guard it for ages to come. In the fucking mask that you stole? My God. My God, the evil spirit was cast into a mask, trapped inside the confines of its blessed wood for eternity. A mask which its description bears uncanny resemblance to... Who am I fooling? It is that mask. The Dalmar would keep the spirit at bay via regular rituals involving bloody sacrifices and the aforementioned amulet. And you didn't do any of that. But I tried the silver room. Well, that's fine then. Yeah, then you can head over to the world market to get a non-organic branch. It might still work. The last book I read today about the Dalmar, in reality 2 small paragraphs as amusing bonus reading in a book lent by the museum, has revealed to me something that left me completely paralyzed with terror. I've always wondered since I began studying them what made the Dalmar savagely slaughter neighboring tribes without any apparent reason. Was it a violent raw instinct? Did they feel threatened in any way? Was it by a perverse and ungodly sense of enjoyment? No. It was fear. Fear that someone else would take the mask and release the god. They killed to protect themselves from failing again into the Dark Ages, falling again even. If they went to such extreme lengths to avoid this, then why did they have to endure when the entity was free? The rituals haven't been performed in the mask for years now. What have I done? What have I done? Oop. I was so shocked to learn about this evil. Terrible as it was, I still wondered to what extent James Blackwood went to get rid of this curse. Killing his baby child? Wait. That wasn't James, that was the guy after him, right? That was, Christopher? No. That's the name. That's Milton. That's the name of the doctor. The other guy. It seems like he didn't go through much, effort at all, actually. It seems like he just, let it happen, went insane, and killed his wife. Potentially killed his wife. Maybe killed his child? Question mark? Granola bar. There's nothing else to say, nothing to say about the mask here. This isn't the mask, is it? I thought it was the one hidden in the secret closet next to the gallery room. But it seems like this ritual we need to perform, so we need to find 2 amulets and the branch, which I'm assuming is in the greenhouse and the plant, right? Candle is providing a gentle light. Cool secret room below the church. Very rad. Okay. I wonder if we can dig the body up now, or probably the lack of a body. Oh, also, we suspect that he's still alive. The man who killed his wife. That his death was faked. Okay. Playing a little one. Thank you very much for the follow, Duck Blue. One second. Hold on, apparently there's more in there. Sorry, I do have a guide up. While this game's completely doable in my own time, just for stream purposes, it's very easy to miss things. Sometimes items don't trigger as interactable until like a certain point in the game. They might not even realize that happens because the game just decides. Other times you might have to search through every single room in the house again, just things like that. So just using a guide every now and again to gain my bearings. Can I not pick up anything else here? Oh! Oh, we didn't pick up the note on the top. Okay. April 5th, 1963. Christopher. So this is the doctor. The address to the doctor. These may very well be my last notes in this regard. I'm afraid Catherine has already realized what I've been doing here all the time. In vain I've tried to explain myself, and I know what might have been the outcome had I kept insisting. If only you could believe me, Christopher, because I know you intend well, but I can feel the doubt in your heart. Put your rational thoughts aside for a moment and yield to the facts. If I can do it, someone who was constantly taught in the wonders of science over his childhood, then so can you. I'm hoping that you will contemplate the possibility of some truth in my assessments once you read about my latest findings. It is imperative that you carry on with this task. Catherine is watching my every step, and I'm afraid she'll take measures if I do anything out of the ordinary. Did you know? She's been talking to other doctors besides you, and psychiatrists. My God, Christopher, I fear that she's willing to shut me up in a madhouse. How is it possible that all of you won't believe me? As if what happened with my own son wasn't enough proof? In my adjacent notes, you will find an exhaustive essay on the origin of the curse and what should be done to eliminate it. I know the whole amulet deal must sound crazy, but you have to trust me. The tribe has been doing this for centuries. Are you going to forfeit all that knowledge and experience? They faced a god, Christopher, and lived to tell it. Now it's our turn to live and tell the story. And Christopher, if we fail to remove the curse and anything happens to me, I want you to do it. And I have my complete mental faculties whilst I'm asking you this. It has been becoming more and more dangerous lately. Do not hesitate. There is simply no other way, and you would be the only one left who can do it. Promise me. Promise me you will. I know I'm asking you to become a cold-hearted murderer, but Christopher, our lives, and possibly many others, are at stake. Isn't that enough to forget your vow? James, you made me happy. I'm inside the walls. Let me out. No. Why would I remove insulation? It will be very cold come winter. So, I want to read... Okay, so their baby was not killed by the doctor. Their baby was not illicitly born between the doctor and the wife. Their baby was killed because of this vengeful god wreaking havoc, this vengeful spirit. Okay. But then what about this would lead Michael to believe that James never died, and that he's still alive, wandering around this place, and that Christopher helped fake his death, other than some of the funds being turned over to him. If I fail to remove the curse and anything happens to me, I want you to do it. Maybe. Maybe James, and I was assuming that James didn't kill his wife. There was still something a little bit off about that. So perhaps the spirit invaded Christopher. Christopher killed both James and the wife, or perhaps James really did kill his wife, and that was what made Christopher realize, oh my god, the spirit has a hold of him because he was possessed to kill his wife. It wasn't really him, not necessarily driven to madness. Well, maybe madness, but also being possessed. And so Christopher was like, okay, well, you told me to do it, so I'm going to kill you. But then maybe even after death, the evil spirit still inhabited his body, and that's why we're still seeing it around, or that's why Michael believes that James isn't dead. A wife killer named James? Mm-hmm. Try to do the ritual by killing his wife. Well, the ritual doesn't include killing somebody. That's not what the previous note said. But we know the previous notes did say that that the tribe was killing people to protect them. Or themselves. Hey dang on Mushi, no Silent Hill F. Yes, we finished watching the trailer. If it makes you feel any better, it was very brief, only about 10 minutes of gameplay in quotations. And it jump cut around so much that you really soaked in no information. And a lot of it was stuff that we could already see or glean from the previous trailers. With the exception for a couple of the enemy fights. Okay, so I reckon it's time for us to dig up the ground now, or it's time for us to go back to the greenhouse. Never trust a Michael. You know what you're talking about. Okay. So we need to find an amulet representing the victim, the victimizer, a branch, and a plant. It's looking like a yeah. Oh yeah, it's looking great. It is looking great. Something that I did notice though, without like spoiling too much, is okay. My biggest nitpick: the font choice. The font choice in the UI and the subtitles, which seeming are in game because the subtitle fonts were the same as the UI font on the inspection screens and looking at inventory items. I hate it. I hate that. The rest of the game looks great. But also, when in an inspection screen, it looks, and again, I'll reiterate, it's not a bad thing, and I say this with love, but it looks like a very good indie horror game. Just the way the drop shadows are placed, the way the font is, the way the screen is laid out when you inspect things. It's, and maybe it's just because I'm not used to that with Silent Hill, but just, it does differ a lot from the environments a little bit, which is interesting. And the school looks very spooky, but it was so very brief. I know like lots of people like going in completely blind, and that's totally understandable. But if you were a little bit on the fence about watching it, I would say go ahead and watch it because it doesn't really spoil anything. But it does look good. I'm very excited for it. How the combat seems is already divisive? It's not. It really kind of looks similar to the rest of Silent Hill's combat, at least like the later games. We were talking about that before a little bit, Marvel, about how there were a couple early reviewers saying how, oh, it's Souls-like. It isn't. It has lock-on enemy hitting, which Silent Hill 2 Remake did as well. And it's like point, click, and hit. Like all the other Silent Hill games. Not sure where they're getting the Souls-like references. Mechanically, even just based off of what I watched. But again, we did get to watch so little. Maybe they meant like mechanically in the boss fights? I could maybe see that with the Sanako, like boss. Maybe, but in general, I'm not really seeing the Souls-like comparison. Dodging and stamina. Yeah, I think it's mostly the stamina that makes people compare. I don't even remember seeing in that gameplay trailer really much of any dodging, so You're nitpicky about font UI choices? Yeah, it's... Maybe you'll be able to change it, but it's a little bit too bold and cartoony. Oh, it's a little strange. That's my biggest nitpick. But it's looking actually quite cozy. And there is some that I won't spoil or divulge. And if you'd like to hear me talk about it, I'm sure you can go back in the VOD later. But there are some cool little details about some of the face and mask stuff that was neat to see. Okay. So. I just wanted to pull up where I was in the guide first. I want to see if it's dig time yet. I doubt it, though. It is! Empty. Oh, we're covering it back up. Wait, why did we do that? Is this not the right spot? Hmm. Oh yeah, but the shadow is here now, so we know where to dig. Maybe we still don't know the right spot, but it's interesting that he's at least willing to dig. We still don't know the right spot, though. Yeah, because he has nothing to say about this. Weeb's feasting? True. Okay, so based off of the picture, where's the shadow? It's kind of hard to tell. I feel like we're standing... Oh, wait. It's kind of over here, isn't it? It's a little obscured. It's hard to tell. Like here? I think we already dug here, though. Maybe... Either I'm missing something, or there really is just nothing here. Just in case, I'll cover it all back up. You skipped out on it? You might watch it. You already have it pre-ordered. Slay. Call anything with dodging and stamina Souls-like. True. True. I don't know where we're supposed to dig. But apparently we're supposed to look in the mailbox. Because... No, we already read all this. This is all the same as before. Never mind. Nothing's changed. Okay. Okay, so we can try looking in the greenhouse. Where are we supposed to dig? Am I missing something? Apparently we're supposed to go call Jerry again. Okay. Sorry again for looking at the guide so much. It's just we would be here a very long time, and I don't know if I would finish this game on stream. Oh wait, I wanted to go look in the greenhouse first. I feel like there's still more to do there. I don't know. Let's see. I tried to call Jerry before, right? Yeah.
Jerry, it's me.
Michael, I was about to call you.
Why?
I've been thinking about what you told me, and you could be onto something there. But I'm
Ooh.
worried about your safety now. This could be dangerous.
What do you mean by dangerous?
Well, let's suppose you're right, and James Blackwood is indeed hiding somewhere inside the house. He's a madman, a murderer, and your life could be in danger.
Jerry, if James Blackwood is still alive, he'd be nothing more than a harmless, decrepit old man. I don't think I'd have any problem outdoing him.
Unless he was
If he is armed,
armed and possessed by an evil spirit.
He surely knows I'm here by now. He's waiting for me to leave so that he can escape. I can't miss this opportunity.
the opportunity of what, for Christ's sake?
Of knowing. I'm already too much into this, Jerry. And if I don't know what happened inside this house, I won't be able to sleep again.
You're obsessed. You were supposed to finish your book, get some rest, and now look at this. What are you going to say to your editor?
Who knows? Maybe this whole episode inspires me to write that ending. I'm sorry. I can't leave this now, Jerry. It's too late.
I can't believe this. I don't understand you. Doesn't the possibility of spending another night in that house with a creepy old man hiding in the basement scare you?
I know what you're trying to do. Goodbye, Jerry.
Michael? Michael! It's dangerous, do you hear me? Dangerous! You have to leave that place!
I'll keep you informed.
You know what? If we do find a body, either it was true, we didn't find James's body when we dug there and we could only dig at one place, or I wasn't digging in the right spot. So it's true that James really is walking around possessed, or we are, so it's either that's the case, no body really, or we are going to find the doctor, Christopher Milton's body. Because James killed both his wife and the doctor due to the spirit presence. I bet you, even if James is running around, I still bet that's the case, that he killed Milton. Your death is going to be a new book. Yeah, for real, dude. He's had every opportunity for juicy horror writing. And yet, somebody just been at the front gates. Oh. No, I didn't see anyone, but let's go take a gander. Last time you said that, we got a piece of mail. Oh, a scroll? Ah, I'm being evicted? October 12th, 1976. Dear Michael Arthate, due to irregularities during its acquisition process carried over by Mr. Jerry P. Carter, you were ordered to immediately leave the property known as Blackwood Manor. What the fuck, Jerry? Bro. You conned me, man. I thought... Jer Bear, I thought we were like fucking pals here, man. You are ordered to immediately leave the property known as Blackwood Manor. If you fail to comply, legal proceedings will be enforced against you. You have 2 days to effectively abandon the property after issuing of this notice. We take no responsibility for the courier service. A police officer is due to arrive at Blackwood Manor on Tuesday, October 15th. Should you be present, you will be immediately taken into custody without further notification. What the fuck, Jerry? You're lucky that this dude's scared out of his mind and probably going to leave anyway. So that was the reason why Jerry wanted me to leave the house so badly. I bitterly realized that he wouldn't come for me, and that it was up to me to find a way to leave the house. Well, we already know that this is his final day here. Whether that means his final day in life or final day at the house remains to be seen. But what the fuck, Jerry? The cops? Calm down. I mean, it wouldn't be hard for me to just skedaddle. We have one suitcase. But, like... all Jairus do is fill in the gaps what happened between the phone calls, and he was first for... Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean some things fell in between the cracks? Did you forget to send the check to somebody? Did you... Jerry, I really thought we fucking had something. It was up to me to leave the house. Okay. So we gotta get our fucking car running again. Oh! Now you can open the boot? Christ. It was the spot where the car's battery was, and we have no battery now? I thought you didn't know the first thing about anything in a car, so you wouldn't dare opening it. We need a fucking battery. Okay. Someone stole the battery. Great. Yeah, we're just desperate enough. Golly gee, Michael. What if it's Jerry? What if Jerry actually wanted me to get arrested, so Jerry stranded me here? Think about that. Just put the chain on the gate. What's the covenant climate? Yeah, we need to wire up a potato. Put it in baking soda or fucking whatever. Okay. Maybe there's a battery now that we can pick up or something we can pick up in the shed here. What about that bike? Why can't we just leave with the bike? See, beep beep. Let's go. Yeah, and when you do this, it lights up. So either we use this for the car or we just use the bike to leave. I know this thing's remote, but come on. I'm gonna use these to take the device. Wasn't useful. These? Oh, wait, we have the battery. Oh. Oh, he took the battery out. I thought he just noticed. Okay, I think I see. We need cables. We have no way to attach it. Do we have anything in our inventory that we can attach to the stethoscope? Cloth? Oh, we already have the branch, by the way. Maybe I just put it on the ground? I'm missing something here. Maybe I use it on the top? Okay, no, there's something else I need. I think that's not the trunk of the car? Well, it's the back of the car, but that's where the engine is. Are there wires here that I can grab or something? Anything I missed here? Missed the hit video game? I tried that bit of scribbles, I did. Didn't seem to do anything. I tried to attach it in multiple places, and there must be like wires or something that I need. The only place I could think of where that would be in like the attic? Oh, no, we just have to put it in the right spot. Okay, I'm glad I looked at the guide, because I would have gone all the way up 3 stories of the house, searching around the attic for shit only to come back outside. Okay. Right, a small crate was sitting near the bicycle. Right. Okay. So... Oh, no, don't pick it up. Yeah, do we get a fucking refund? We did spend our money on this. Having the cables connected first was probably a good idea. Okay, will you do that? He makes a little grabby hand here. Then he won't connect it. Oh, is it connected now? Oh, it is. It is. Okay. The wires were so thin and slender I could barely see. Keep cranking that bad boy. Come on, keep cranking it. You're trying to charge a whole ass car battery. You're going to need to crank it a little bit harder than that, my man. How many times do I have to do this? Is it fine? I'm gonna assume it's charged. I'm assuming once it's charged enough, which is... That's some crazy business. If one bicycle twirl is enough to charge this battery. Time to fucking skedaddle. Does it say it's charged? With supposedly a small charge. Why didn't you charge it more? Alright. Save my game. Oh my goodness, one moment, chat. My cat is being a menace. Give me a second. Or the scratches in real life, sorry, I was muted. Yes. She really wanted to provide an immersive gaming experience. She's being a menace about it. Hello, Orange. Hi, yes, you're here. Hello. Okay. Well, time to fucking dip, I guess. As I prepared myself to leave the manor, I suddenly felt responsible for disturbing the forces that had up to now lain dormant inside the house. I had to do something. So you won't even leave? I wanted to leave the place right away, but I couldn't, not without dealing with the presence haunting the house first. It was my responsibility now. This is gonna get you killed, my man. This is going to get you killed. Okay. So now we need to find... Yeah, and we left all our stuff behind. Yeah, what about our typewriter? Should be responsible for that. Okay. I'm reading the guide really quickly. Okay. Right, so the amulet. So we need things all organic, right, from Whole Foods. We need something from the victim, the victimizer, we have the branch, and we need the flower. Which there was that red... Oh, probably in the greenhouse, right? You think we can dig here now? Ow, 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 ow. Wait, did that hurt? I don't think I'm seeing anything still. I must not be digging in the right place, or it's not the right time yet. Like, I see shadows on the ground, but they aren't very strong. Well, let me go inside really quickly and see what time it is. Sleep-inducing, but I'm glad it was working. You want 4 p.m. Okay. So we should be able to... I just don't know... I know based off in the photo where we're supposed to dig, but I can't find the exact spot. I know it's at the tip of the shadow, right? But... I tried that? Maybe like here, specifically? No, this looks the same as before. I'm still not finding anything. Nothing. The fact that we can dig and we're finding nothing, there must be something I'm doing wrong. Let me save my game again. Sure, this one. Can we dig anywhere else here? Does it have to be on that spot? But no, we know it's over here by this path. Right at the tip of the shadow, like right there, or right in front of me, really, but none... Oh! Soil in this... Wait, there's music now. I found the spot! Oh. I was equally terrified and saddened upon uncovering the dead body of Catherine Blackwood. All those years she was left to rot in this improvised tomb. Wait, so who was that in the chapel, then? Who the fuck is that body in the chapel, then? I tried to pull out a tooth without success. Was that Christopher? Well, we know that supposedly Catherine was buried here. So that's why he's assuming it's Catherine. Because he knows that's not James in the chapel, because James's coffin was empty. And if he's just assuming that this is Catherine, then that would only leave Christopher. So James probably also did kill Christopher. We got a tooth. I think that counts as an organic item of the victimized. It was the tooth that I shamelessly took from the cadaver of Catherine Blackwood. The police are going to love finding all of this after you're gone, buddy. Surely they won't know who has been here because they aren't the ones with your name on paperwork to serve the eviction notice to. Surely, even after you've already bounced, they won't see the desecration of a dead body. Maybe they won't know the tooth has been pulled out. Sure. Maybe you can say, hey, I was digging around in my place that I thought was mine, doing some gardening, and oh, look, dead body. But you think at this point you would call the police and be like, hey, I have reason to believe that I found the grave. But even then, wait a damned minute. Wait. Based on the newspaper articles, the police already knew that James dragged his wife's body out into the garden and buried her. Loganic, thanks for the follow, Dekoyu. And buried her because the maid saw it and the maid recounted what she saw. So they just never went and searched for her body? They're just like, hey, if you say that she's been buried there, we believe you. Or did they just leave her there? Did they know? They uncovered her and they're like, you know what? Leave it. Evidence in a murder case, murder victim, leave it. I quietly left, bearing Mrs. Blackwood back to her dead, cold dreams. Damn. So who is that in the morgue? From the thingy, well, rather. Huh. Sleep tight, Miss Skeletal. Night night. Okay, let's go, Where's this chat? Yeah, I don't want to be in here. I don't know why I went inside. Let's go to the greenhouse. There was that blooming plant, right? I wonder if... How do I get back there? Oh, you know, I bet that... Remember that now that it's that area that's inaccessible? The, like, sacred tree thing with the pond that led from the greenhouse? I bet you. Or maybe it's not inaccessible, actually. No, yeah, it's right here. Yeah, I bet that's what it's from. We don't need this branch. We already have a branch. Unless we do? That wasn't useful. Okay, just had to make sure. Small pool of water, no like sacred flower here that we need, nothing. Okay. Yeah, that must be the tree. Let's go check in the greenhouse. But he's a dirt wizard, don't you see? Yeah, because it definitely felt like we were missing something in the greenhouse. Or maybe this is the sacred tree, who's to say? There's a plant all the way up here. I wonder... Maybe now we can... Strangely attractive. Yeah, can we... Snip, snip? I took a few leaves with me. Okay. Taken a few leaves and fruits from that strange African plant. It had a very particular smell. Okay, so now we just need something from... I'm assuming that's what we need, right? Now we just need something from, Oh. No, we already read this, right? Yeah. Now we just need something from James. There's Archibald. Or no, it also mentioned an item from a god. That would be the victim, the victimizer, not the victimized. Right, because it's not really James that did it, it's the angry, vengeful god. So let's check the gallery. And then we might have everything, right? Although I thought the notes mentioned a flower, not just a plant. Hopefully the leaves and berries are enough. We can identify it by taste. The skeleton tastes exactly like Catherine. Also, on the phone, he said that, by now, Jerry said, you don't have to worry about anything. By now, James, if he is alive, would have to be a weak, decrepit old man. It's only been, what, 16 years? How old was James? It seemed like he died, in quotations, not that old. Not when he was like 60-something, because this was... we're just gonna say 16 years ago, even though it's not exact. He had just had like a child with his wife. That child died, but just had a child with his wife, so you wouldn't think that he was like an old man. So what do you mean, old and decrepit? Not even 20 years has passed. Even if he was like 30-something, right? What, you think even if he was 40-something? I guess maybe if he was 40-something? But what do you mean he'd be a decrepit old man? It hasn't been that long. This is set in 76, and his death, in quotations, happened in 63. I almost feel like the game got their target date wrong, and they meant for it to be further back. But you see the date 1963 over and over and over again, so surely it must not be a mistake. You would think it was supposed to be, especially based off the house and the decor and other stuff. Like 1860, well, not 1863, that would be a little bit early, but like, at least like 1920s. But, yeah, I don't know. Some of the timeline stuff is a little misproportioned, we'll say. People over 30 old. Yeah, but he said a decrepit old man that wouldn't even be able to do anything. That would barely even be able to move. So, like, I don't know. Okay, maybe it's a piece of the mask? I don't know. Ooh! It had to be my imagination, but the mask seemed to be more menacing than ever. It is, kind of, actually, but it's beautiful. So is there anything that we can take from this? Oh, no, we need to perform the ritual on the mask. Right, okay, so it has to be something else in here. Also, hey, Porphyry, if I didn't already say hello. Yeah, I just think the timeline's a little strange. And then not only that, but then the photo they show of James and Catherine. Hello? The photo they show of James and Catherine is of a very Victorian-era couple. So, I kind of feel like they maybe originally intended for the previous owners of this house to be a little bit further removed from the current decade. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Maybe this is what we need. A tooth and a tooth. Oh, or this isn't a tooth, this is a claw. Zoological knowledge was as good as my technical expertise, but certainly that claw definitely belonged to a lion. And the note mentioned that that malevolent god was, or not malevolent, but the evil spirit was seen as, sorry, I lost my train of thought. What's his name? Not, the tribe was Dalmar, but I forget what they called him. Anyway, that malevolent god was sometimes depicted as a cat. Okay, so they need to be mixed somehow. think I know. Ship it back. It was kind of unlawfully stolen. What's the fastest way here? Yeah. And then here. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like they meant to say like 1890, not 1963. I mean, on one hand, it being so recent makes it feel spookier, and then that makes the timeline match up with James still being alive and haunting this place. A living haunting. Maybe it was like they intended for it to be set further in the past when they originally started writing the story, but then they realized, what if it was a human haunting, but this human was like possessed? So it's as scary as a ghost would be roaming around. It would also be scary if it was a ghost inside of a madman. And they said, okay, yeah, but if this man is still going to be alive reasonably, then he couldn't have, his ordeal couldn't have happened too far from when the current game is taking place. And maybe they kind of just like changed their trajectory, but they had already made like art assets after that. But I am also absolutely willing to suspend my disbelief, and I don't really care. I'm just being nitpicky for the sake of hee-hees, you know? Ah! Oh, the coffee grinder. Perfect. Nice, rustic, old-fashioned coffee grinder. Put her in. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, you don't put it in the bottom container. There we go. I couldn't open it until... Tooth? Oh, we had one at a time? Okay. The grinder was open and waiting for anything to be tossed inside to test its blades. Close it, please. Do you know how hard it would be to grind a human tooth with a coffee grinder? It would take a very long time. Okay, then we need to close this. Open it back up. Tooth powder! Not the kind you're thinking of. Okay. Close it. Grind it. This was made by a single This was made by a single person? I swear it was a whole team. Multiple tooth powders. What? Oh! Wait, we don't grind this here? Oh. Do we grind the branch? No. Okay. They forgot to hit replace when they searched for the old date in the cake. Maybe. Yeah, is this really just one person? That is really insane. I didn't think it was. Okay, maybe we only need to powder those two things. It's a really sharp-ass coffee grinder. Oh, we have our combined powders. Can we just... Ah. Okay. The leaves are now mixed with the dust with from a tooth and a lion's claw. Maybe now we just perform the ritual in the mask? That's all we need? Wait, is this the basement? No. Began a single person, but... Oh, okay, so yeah, I was gonna say, I swear it was made with the whole team. Okay, back upstairs. I think we have everything we need now. Really? Is it gonna be over? No way. Wrong way. Okay, there we go. Ugh. I swear this hallway's darker. Save my game just in case I do something wrong. So far there doesn't really seem like there's any way that you can soft lock yourself. Okay. No? Do we put it like below? That wasn't the problem. Right, we need to make a whole ass amulet. I might have to go and read the notes again. Right. Sharpen it? No, we're definitely missing something. Put it in the fabric? What's up, Nate? Maybe he will. Maybe he fucking will. Hold on. Okay. I am glad I looked at the guide. I am glad I looked at this walkthrough. I would be running around this house like a madman. I'd be back in the greenhouse. I'd be back in the shed. Do you guys remember the miniature stove in the attic? I'm supposed to use that. Okay, which was this door? Yeah, from the very beginning. But wait, we have nothing to light it. We don't have any matches left. Oh, we have one single match. Okay. Since I have no intention of burning anything just yet, I said, oh. Hold on. Hold on. Oh. So we need to go here. Apparently there's something we're looking for in here. Or the other room, maybe. Walk over here. The old bricks. Oh! What was that? It was a small metal rod that I found in the upper bathroom. Yeah, like that wasn't even inspectable before, right? This game does that quite a lot, which I don't mind, and again, would do in my off time, but on stream, if I don't know what I'm looking for, especially when it's things that I looked at before, how am I supposed to know that there's something? Because before it was just inane text like, oh, another pile of bricks, another pile of bricks. Now all of a sudden, this pile of bricks has a specific spot you can click on where you can grab an item. I'd be looking, this would be a very, very long stream playthrough if I did not have this guide. Holy shit. It looks like a little Allen wrench, but I guess it's just a little rod. Okay, there's apparently something else we need. We need to go into the painting room. I do remember Obed Marsh, though. True. Apparently there's also something in here that you can grab now. Also, welcome in, Gary. I didn't already say hello. Oh, this isn't the painting room. I thought this was, damn it. I thought this was. This is the painting room. Okay. Aha! It was a lid of a can that I picked up for some reason. I swear we were not able to pick that up before, but I also missed a lot of stuff on that table. Very specific hot spots. Okay. Do we have everything we need now? We have like a little hot plate, we have a little thingy-mabob. A thingy-mabob. I don't know what that metal piece would be for, but maybe to act as like flint and steel. I don't know, we have a match though. Yeah, oh, one of the burner legs. Ah, okay, yeah, we were missing components. Duh. Okay, there we go. Huh. Okay. We don't use the stick yet. Now you want to light it? There we go. This would just burn it. Oh. It turned into a mystical green goo. Oh no, the spirit is angry. The stone felt warm to the touch. It was almost organic. Ah, very curious plant indeed, because it would just smell like burnt bone, which is a very strong smell. I attached the stone to the branch and immediately felt a strange sensation. The amulet seemed to be vibrating. I was ready. Put it up my ass. Like, it would just turn to ash, so there's some mystical properties at play. Spooky. That make it turn into a stone. Interesting. I swear it's gotten darker. Hey, buddy, I am going to exercise you. That's you chuckling, James. I'm so sorry. Jump scare? Okay, is this finally it? I waved the amulet in front of the mask, and then... At first nothing seemed to happen, but then the atmosphere felt lighter, as if the house had been relieved of a monstrous burden. Nothing else seemed to happen. That's it? But you don't know what they chanted in front of it. You don't know what they said. Based on him getting is he going to make it out of this house alive? Yes, I believe he will, because he said, he already previously narrated, right? He said, this was my final day here. As if he's writing, this is already written, and he's telling us the story that he wrote. So he lived to tell the tale. So I'd like to think that, yeah, he's totally going to die, but I don't think he will. And that's it? We're just walking off scot-free? That's it? That's all it took? Oh. You know, it'd be a really good detail. I don't think it will work. Is there a light switch somewhere? I stood there paralyzed in terror. I heard these horrible noises again. They just wouldn't stop. I knew it wouldn't be that easy. I was going to say, you know what would be a good deal? Leaving without your stuff, yeah. Or a good deal, a good detail. If the curse was actually lifted, if you could split the light switch and the lights would turn back on. James is still down there. The scratching stopped. He's narrating it as he's dying? True. Oh, I don't want to go down here. No, he probably won't leave. Don't make me go in there. Don't make me go in there. We don't have any light anyway. Okay, I guess maybe we will try to leave. Yeah, I guess we have to leave, huh? But he said that he wasn't satisfied until, yeah, he solved the mystery. Right? So there must be something I'm missing. I doubt he'll want to leave. I doubt it's just, we waived it. There's no way. A shame we never solved it. Goodbye. Nah, there has to be something else, right? You're back again. There's... Oh! I was thinking, I was like, yeah, what about... Because we listened to the sounds in the first place at the fireplace. Oh no. As I went down the fireplace, I couldn't shake the feeling of entering a forbidden zone, a place that had been, as was supposed to remain, forgotten in time. Pipes rusted long ago were everywhere in here. Oh no. You could have just left. The passage was full of junk. The only noticeable feature of the room was a filthy and cracked sink. Nope, we're jumping down the fireplace. Says, oh, we heard the scratching. We have to investigate it. We can't just leave. This is the... Oh, yeah, this is the little door that we saw someone walk past before. This is the door from the other side of the furnace. Isn't it? I remember being soaking wet and shaking in fear, yet I just had to go on as if driven by an unseen force. No, this isn't the other side, but similar. There must be multiple passages all underneath the house, and one of them leads from the outside of the furnace. There remains of food on the table. Someone or something had been eating down here. Not human bones. Oh, great, we're gonna go in there too. Oh, this must be their child's toy. A disgusting teddy bear covered in mud and dirt was lying on the ground. It appeared to be bites that had ripped its neck. Oh. There's something we can do with this? I thought we could exercise the doll. Didn't hear anything. Bury it? I'm thinking how we'd bury it like we're putting it to rest. Pliers? There has to be something else we can do with it. Why else will it let us interact with it? Nothing I... Oh, suddenly the words of William Bailey concerning the body of Catherine Blackwood echoed in my head. Ripped, she would say. What? Fresh water was dripping from a pipe. What do you mean ripped, she would say? Like what happened to Catherine's body, it looked unnatural, animal. Like she had been cannibalized. And that bear has all these bite marks where he just went mad and started gnawing on the teddy bear of his child. Oh, hello. Ooh. That's kind of wretched. Hello. Oh, don't look at me like that. Time to go. Goodbye. He really saw that and he said, okay, nope, no for real this time. Good fucking bye. And left.
Unsure of what I had just seen, I raced my car and left Blackwood Manor as quickly as possible. I'm not ashamed of what I did. That disfigured face is still stalking my nightmares, and I've never put foot inside a Victorian house.
Yeah, it was
since.
very...
But there's certainly one thing that I'm grateful for. It was thanks to my encounter below that house that I was able to finish my book and become a
See, he did
prolific
live.
writer.
But that's not the end of it, is it? What are we seeing here? Dripping water? This is from his perspective. Is he coming after him? Coming after Michael? Plant. That's the bloom that was mentioned, the flower. Huh. Oh no, a gross guy. Anyway. I wonder if there was something that we could have done with that teddy bear. It seemed interactable, but I didn't have anything that would work on it. But yeah, I was trying to parse what was happening to his face, and I thought it was just kind of normal human face, and it was just like janky old animation at first, but I think it was meant to be like his whole face was kind of like sagging, or his mouth was like kind of sagging off of his skull, kind of like anteater-esque. At least that's what it looked like to me. And his ears were elongated. He was all green and putrefied. Yeah. Wonder if this has mold. Yeah, I'm almost wondering that too, because what the fuck was up with that teddy bear? Right? Let me look at another version of this guide. Out of curiosity. No, those are not Celtic runes. The Celts did not use runes. Not like that. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna look at this guy to see what it has to say. No, each ends in the same way, yeah. H.P. Lovecraft in the credits. But I need to offer no explanation, Frederick. You translate it yourself. It's right there. Right there. Yeah, no, there's nothing else. That's just how it ends. Oh, wait. Yeah, the door is never closed. Bum bum. Okay. So yeah, I've already kind of explained my theory. I guess, unfortunately, that yes, James really did kill his wife. But again, I still cannot parse. Okay. So when Michael said, I think James is alive, and Christopher covered for him, right? And faked his death. I think that when James killed his wife, that's when Christopher took James's advice and said, okay, you said if anything really bad happens, to kill you because the entity, the spirit, got you. So Christopher went to go kill James, but it didn't work out as planned, and then James killed Christopher, and Christopher's body, Milton the doctor, that's the one in the crypt. Or in the mausoleum, what have you. Catherine's body is buried, and that was James, now malformed and transfigured by this evil spirit. Typical James. At least that's how I read it. Now, the baby dying. I don't know if that was like a catalyst that fed into his insanity and therefore furthered along this haunting and his possession, or if the baby dying was a direct result of the curse and the possession. I would say probably likely of the curse. One of the people doing the voices, guy responsible for the Darkfall games. Oh, like creating them? Hell yeah, we love it. I still need to play the other Darkfall games. Only runes you know are Witch and Nordic. Witch runes, that's not a thing. I mean, any witch can make their own runes, but that's not like an official thing. You can call any, really, if you want, like runes are kind of a vague term at this point that can be used for a lot of non-Latin alphabet, kind of more symbolic languages, but it usually is more specific to Anglo-Saxon runes, Elder Futhark, Younger Futhark, and maybe one other. Typical James. So, yeah, that's the ending. I did like the eyes creeping out, though. That was actually quite spooky. I like that. Oh. So I'm reading, this guide has a little addendum at the end. And they say, it seems quite certain that James Blackwood did die, although it might not necessarily have been due to a heart attack, as the public was led to believe. Again, it's quite certain that the doctor, so that he died and maybe was like resurrected. But then it says, it's quite certain that the doctor is still alive and is the one who has been taking care of the creature, dropping off food from the grating down to the lair, etc. The doctor was no doubt also the man whose silhouette Arthate saw the second night from the furnace shaft. What's not so clear, however, and yet most intriguing, is the identity of the creature itself. Well, that's James. It has to be James. That creature is James. What do you mean? But they go on to say, I must confess that the first time I played this game, I was quite certain that the creature was none other than a member of the tribe who used to guard the mask, someone who might have followed Blackwood, trying to get it back. But then I had a good friend of mine play the game, and her initial impression was that the creature might have been Blackwood's own child. That's not the impression I got at all. Huh. But that's a curious thought no, I just took it as that's James down there, possessed. But yeah, I guess it would make more sense that the doctor didn't die. The doctor, yeah, because we saw that other figure pass by from inside the cell. Inside the furnace, which should have been locked, so that creature had like access to the furnace area into that room down there. So I guess that would make sense if that was the doctor and he was feeding him. And that's why there was that hole from above. Or maybe the furnace was a way for like the doctor to feed him. Maybe the doctor couldn't go through with killing him. But I'm not getting the vibe that that was the child. They go on to say, having replayed the game in order to write this walkthrough, I'm inclined to agree with her. My biggest objection to her theory had been the age of the child. But I noticed the second time I played the game that the child had been born in 61, and that Jerry's letter in Arthate's suitcase shows that it's 76. Hence, if the child is alive, it would be 15 years old, and I think the creature we see at the end might pass for a 15-year-old. Yeah, it's obscure on purpose. Indeed, assuming that the creature is the Blackwood child, it helps explain a number of things. For instance, the free room and board given to the creature, the apparent disgust and disappointment with which the nursery seems to have been all sealed up, how Catherine managed to get her throat ripped out. She might have just wanted to see the child out of pure maternal love and was no doubt taken by a complete surprise by the creature's violent reaction. Why James couldn't bring himself to kill the creature since he was its father and wanted the doctor to do it instead, and why the doctor himself had difficulty carrying out the Blackwood's wishes. Being a loyal... Oh, that might explain the note between Catherine and the doctor. They talked about something about the child and something that they had to do. Maybe that was locking it away. And that's why it had the teddy bear. Okay. No, that theory does make a lot of sense now. Yeah. The nursery being sealed up. Catherine got her throat ripped out. There were bite marks on the teddy bear. Right, and so that body that we saw in the crypt, then that would make perfect sense. That body that we saw in the crypt, that really was James actually in there. Even though James's coffin was empty, maybe it was like swapped for some reason. Or no, Catherine's was empty, right? That was James's body. Who we saw roaming around was the doctor. And that down there is the child. That could be the case, actually, yeah. I took it as James, though. I think my theory also kind of works. What else does it say? In spite of the fact that the creature he loved so violently killed a woman he cared for deeply. Yeah, they did have a kind of relationship. Yeah, I think that's just one theory, right? I think you can take it a few different ways. What do you guys think? I'm very curious to know your thoughts and how you think it played out. And thank you very much for the hydration.
Refreshing.
Don't add any water. I'll stream. I mean, I still think it could be James, right? Catherine had her throat ripped out. James could have done that if he was possessed by the spirit. Now, the bear being down there with bite marks on its neck could still also be James, because even in his possessed and monstrous state, he was holding on to one thing that he loved that he still could, something from his child. But it definitely makes a lot of sense now. I was trying to reconcile that note between the wife and the doctor. They made it sound almost like they were going to kill the child. They could have just been talking about locking it away, like as soon as it was born, just kind of, first baby, get down there. But yeah, that is kind of up for debate.